Right now, a late night at the Capitol, where the Senate has passed a nearly $100 billion budget.
Plus, another day of unhealthy weather conditions brought on by smoke. How soon until Wisconsin receives some fresh air? That's all coming up right now at 10.
In the last hour or so, the state Senate has passed the Republican-drafted budget. It now goes to the Assembly, where it's also expected to pass.
Under the proposed budget, the state would slash income taxes by more than $3 billion, fund a boost in shared revenue, and cut $32 million from the UW system. In total, the budget would come out to $98.7 billion. If it clears the Assembly, it'll head to Governor Evers' desk, who has previously threatened to veto the entire budget due to the amount of cuts, especially to the UW.
And also at the Capitol, after passing the budget, a resolution was introduced by Senate Republicans to force a confirmation vote on the state's chief elections official, Megan Wolf. The State Elections Commission failed to reach a consensus on Wolf's nomination yesterday, and a move to renominate her failed to garner the majority vote needed to send the issue to the Senate. Senate Majority Leader Devin LeMahieu has previously said Republicans would reject her in that vote, ousting her. She has been a large target for conservative criticism over the 2020 election. Southern
Wisconsin continues to be buried by smoke pouring in from Canadian wildfires up north. That smoke forcing people to stay inside as some popular summer activities like concerts on the square and tonight's Madison Mallards game were postponed because of this unhealthy air quality.
You know, the biggest question on everyone's mind right now, when are we going to be breathing a little easier again? Meteorologist Alex Harrington now with more details in his first warn forecast. Alex?
Yeah, Eric and folks, we got good news in the air quality department. Just got to wait a little bit longer. We got to get into Thursday before we see improvement in the air quality. Not right now. Unfortunately, we still have that air quality advisory for everyone right now, carrying on till noon Thursday at least, and areas off towards the north, towards the west, towards La Crosse until midnight tonight. So improving to the northwest, and slowly that's going to work its way towards the south and towards the east. When coming up in Maine weather, I will show the tracking of that smoke momentarily. Well, look at all of that haze out there. This is that particulate matter, PM 2.5 outside. When we get these levels above 35, that's unhealthy. It's in the 200s in many areas of southern Wisconsin. So that is why we're seeing all of that haze, because most of the time with particulate matter, you don't see it. But 2.5 particles are really, really small. You inhale them, and again, when those concentrations, when the amount gets up to 200, there's enough of it in there to actually see it with the haze. Our high-resolution radar not showing anything. I put this in here because we are watching some showers and thunderstorm chances towards the north and towards the west. We'll track those showers and thunderstorms just where you can expect them, and that smoke coming up.
Alex, thank you. Now, this is the worst the Madison Air Quality Index has been in more than a decade. When measuring air quality, the index's healthy range is between 0 and 50, but for most of the day, it has been above 200, which is considered very unhealthy. This level can affect the health of the entire population. Some Madisonians have said they feel fine. Others have taken those extra precautions.
It's pretty obvious just to see how bad the air was, but it wasn't until I actually felt the impact of it from yesterday that I decided to wear the mask today.
Public health officials recommend you wear masks, stay inside, cut back on any outdoor activities. Public Health Madison-Dane County has set up respite centers with masks around the Madison area as well. We'll have more info on where those are online at channel3000.com. And the hazy air quality in the area got so unhealthy today, it actually forced many outdoor events like concerts on the square, even summer schools, to cancel or postpone.
That is to keep people inside. But what about our four-legged friends? Experts tell our Armand Rahman the smoke can be just as hazardous to your pets.
That's right, Eric and Charlotte. Believe it or not, the smoke in the air doesn't care if you're two or four-legged. That's why doctors at UW-Madison School of Veterinary Medicine say even though you may have an outdoor cat or a breed of dog that needs to be walked and get exercise, don't let that cloud your judgment.
It's definitely a concern at this point, given just how bad it is.
Plenty of people have been masking up outside in the hazy air, but animals are stuck with the smoke.
Our pets can't tell us when they have things like a headache or a sore throat or that kind of thing.
Veterinarian Dr. Aaron Lashnitz says the unhealthy air quality affects pets the same way it affects people.
Any dogs with primary respiratory disease, things like pneumonia, cats with asthma, bronchitis, collapsing trachea, all of these things can just increase risk. So similar to like kids with asthma are more susceptible to the damage from the little particulates.
And it can be even worse for certain species.
We think about like our brachycephalic dogs, the cute smushy face dogs. So like your bulldogs, your Frenchies, they already have sometimes airway problems from their brachycephalic conformation.
Of course, dogs normally pant when they're breathing, but watch out if they start coughing or breathing much faster while resting or sleeping. And of course, call your vet if your cat starts panting like a dog.
In cats, we can see open mouth breathing be more of a concern. You don't think of cats as coughing, but they can, and it sounds funny. So if you're not sure what noise they're making, like, you can look at videos on YouTube.
It can be easy for us to avoid going out in the haze, but not so much for our pets.
We've been spending a lot of time inside, you know, where it's air conditioned and it's getting a little stir crazy.
So use your best human judgment as their caretaker.
Probably like 10 or 15 minutes or something like that. Normally we'd be here for like half an hour, something like that, trying to get the wiggles out.
So it's really up to us as pet owners to do that protection.
And if your dog or cat is a little more lethargic than normal, just keep a close eye on them. But Dr. Lashnitz says if they start losing their appetite or exhibiting those harsher breathing changes, you should probably call or go to your vet.
Well, another day of headaches at airports all across the U.S. with more flight delays and cancellations. But it's not because of the smoke in the skies. Dane County Regional Airport spokesperson says weather east and south of us is part of the problem. And United Airlines blames the mess on FAA staffing shortages. This is a problem that could grow worse as the holiday weekend approaches.
We are anticipating a busy, 4th of July weekend coming up, which we're really excited about. It's really the summer storms. So if your destination has, those big thunderstorms, covering several states, that's what we've seen, at least in the last, 48, 72 hours, as being the reason for disrupted travel.
If you have a flight that is canceled, you should get in contact with your airline as soon as possible for another booking.
An investigation is underway after a plane safely landed this morning in Charlotte, North Carolina with only half of its landing gear. The nose landing gear on this Delta Flight 1092 wouldn't retract, so the crew was forced to land it and allow it to rest on its nose while coming to a stop. That plane coming out of Atlanta, according to Delta, 2 pilots, 3 flight attendants, 96 passengers on board the Boeing 717. Passengers were told to brace for impact prior to landing. Luckily, there were no mishaps when the plane touched down.
It couldn't have gone more smoothly from the landing to the quick response from the emergency responders to the gate agents. Everything was just incredibly smooth. Very impressed.
Delta says it's a rare occurrence. The flight crew trains extensively on how to manage situations just like this. An Amtrak train with nearly 200 passengers on board derailed after colliding with a truck. This happened in Southern California. 15 people were sent to the hospital. That train heading to Seattle from LA when it struck a water tanker truck that was obstructing the tracks. Fire officials say the train took on severe damage in that crash. Unhurt passengers were given water and snacks while they sheltered from the sun under tents before being bussed away for family reunification. An investigation into what happened is underway as pieces of the Titan submersible are being pulled from the ocean floor.
The Horizon Arctic, the ship carrying the debris, returned to a Canadian port earlier today. The submersible imploded on its way to tour the wreckage of the Titanic last week, and crews have been working to find and bring the pieces of the craft to the surface. All the debris will be turned over to investigators in the U.S. and Canada to try to figure out what caused that implosion. The Marine veteran accused of choking a homeless man to death on a New York subway pleaded not guilty today to manslaughter charges. Back in May, Daniel Penny confronted Jordan Neely on a subway train after Neely began shouting at passengers that he was hungry and thirsty and didn't care whether he died. Penny allegedly forced Neely to the train floor and put him in a chokehold until he stopped breathing. A video of the incident triggered demonstrations calling for justice. Penny's lawyer says his client acted reasonably and within the law.
All the evidence that we've seen so far and all the evidence we expect to see shows that that Danny acted reasonably under very difficult circumstances in a confined environment that none of us would ever want to find ourselves in.
The law firm representing Neely's family has said, quote, Daniel Penny did not have the right to be the judge, jury, and executioner, end quote. He's due back in court on October 25th.
Today marks 5 years since the Capital Gazette mass shooting in Annapolis, Maryland. 5 employees were killed when a gunman entered the Gazette newspaper office. It was June 28th. of 2018, the city hosted a remembrance and wreath-laying ceremony to honor the victims and survivors of gun violence. The shooter was sentenced to 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole back in September of 2021. President Biden hit the road again, raising money for his campaign and touting his economic agenda.
This comes as Republicans are focused on the first in the nation primary state of New Hampshire. Natalie Brand has more details from the White House.
President Biden is on the road selling his economic strategy as a cornerstone of his re-election campaign.
And I'm not here to declare victory on the economy. I'm here to say we have a plan that's turning things around incredibly quickly.
He spoke at an official event in Chicago Wednesday on a trip that also includes a high-dollar fundraiser in the 2024 Democratic National Convention host city.
That's been the Republican plan so far. Good for big business, bad for everybody else.
The president says he does not believe the U.S. will see a recession, even as Republican presidential hopefuls point to continued concerns over inflation and the economy.
China has gotten to a point where they're that much of an enemy and they're doing that much damage to us that if we don't get our act together quick, they will start coming and taking over things.
Former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley campaigned in New Hampshire Wednesday, a day after former President Donald Trump and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis visited the state. GOP voter Karen Scott says she supported Trump in the past, but is open to new names.
I've met Trump and I've gone to several of his events. I have never met DeSantis, and in my opinion, you have to get out there and actually meet the person in person.
New Hampshire will host the first Republican presidential primary. Trump remains the GOP frontrunner there, followed by DeSantis, the only other candidate currently polling in double digits. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
More stories are ahead after the break.
Including more than $200 billion in COVID relief believed to be stolen. The findings from a new Watchdog report show how pandemic emergency funds became a magnet for fraudsters. That's next at 10.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
Hy-Vee hot deals are back. 6-pack Pepsi products, $2.49 each when you buy 4. Whole seedless watermelon, $3.88 each. Lay's kettle cooked 4 rolls gold, $1.77 each when you buy 3. Get the hottest deals all week long at Hy-Vee.
Attention, Wisconsin veterans.
I'm Tony Evers, the governor of Wisconsin. If you are a veteran struggling to pay for rent, utilities, or other life-sustaining services, I want you to know that the Veterans Rental Assistance Program is here to help. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. You have already made a most noble sacrifice. You shouldn't have to continue doing so. We are here to support you. With pride in the way, it's never easy to ask for assistance, but rest assured we are here to help. The VRAP team is standing by to help. So call 833-WISC-VRAP or visit VRAPWI.com. You've always been there for us. We want you to know that we're here for you. On behalf of the state of Wisconsin, thank you.
At Honda, we offer complimentary maintenance for 2 years or 24,000 miles. Just enjoy the ride, knowing we cover routine items like oil changes, tire rotations, and multi-point inspections. Honda Service Pass, available to purchasers of all 2023 Honda vehicles. Get yours today.
Hy-Vee hot deals are back. Ground beef, $2.98 for a 1-pound roll. Special recipe brats, 8 for $12 when you buy 8, plus a 16-cent fuel saver. And Bush's baked beans, $1.68. Get the hottest deals all week long at Hy-Vee.
Have you heard? We've outgrown our space. Again! Save up to half off floor samples and special orders at Dwellings Construction Sale. Dwellings, interior design, and home furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
It's a Jennifer Hudson Show exclusive with Wilmer Valderrama.
That 90s show. I was like, can I still do the voice?
I am so tempted to ask you to do the voice.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Restorations are complete at Madison's Nitty Gritty following a fire that spread to the restaurant last November. While the restaurant was able to reopen for business during the last week of 2022, there was much more work to be done over the past 6 months. As part of a final grand reopening, those who worked on the restoration project were invited to come celebrate the completed project. Along with the restoration workers, Ladder 1 from the Madison Fire Department also stopped by for a group photo. Well, it appears our smoky air is having an impact on some people's health.
SSM Health says it's seeing an increase in patients with respiratory issues seeking help. They say many of the patients they're seeing have issues that make them more susceptible to the smoke, like COPD or asthma. Some symptoms can happen quickly, including burning in the back of the throat and in the eyes.
You are more susceptible to a respiratory issue. That days and days and days of this could make it worse and make it harder for your body to recover and harder for you to cope.
He says the best thing to do to minimize the particle effects is to stay indoors. If you have to go outside, they suggest wearing an N95 mask.
Opioid medications are one of the most typically prescribed treatments worldwide for treating lower back pain. But a new study has found they might not work. The study looked at 310 people who sought help for neck or lower back pain from primary care clinics or hospitals in Sydney, Australia. It lasted for 6 years. Participants were divided into 2 groups and treated for 6 weeks. One got placebo and the other 20 micrograms of oxycodone per day. The study found opioids weren't any more helpful than the placebo in their effects on back and neck pain. Researchers also found opioids appear to cause harm even after short-term sensible use. The opioid group had worse mental health scores and more reports of nausea, dizziness, and constipation compared to the placebo group.
The Justice Department has taken action against dozens of people for defrauding Medicare and Medicaid. A 2-week enforcement effort resulted in federal and state charges against 78 defendants. That includes 24 doctors, nurses, and other medical professionals. Those schemes span 16 states and resulted in $2.5 billion of alleged fraud. Officials say much of the fraud targeted the elderly, people with mental health issues, and people addicted to opioids. One case accuses doctors of plotting with telemarketers to get kickbacks for pushing unnecessary medical equipment, and prosecutors say in some instances the wrong medications, broken pills, even pebbles were sold. You may recall hearing about fraud in COVID relief programs for businesses as well. A federal watchdog is putting a number on how much money was handed out to fraudulent claims. More than $200 billion. That's 17% of the $1.2 trillion the Small Business Administration distributed. Some of that money was paid through the Paycheck Protection Program, which was designed to help businesses pay employees during the pandemic. But most of the sum was actually paid through economic injury disaster loans, which, unlike PPP assistance, businesses were supposed to pay back. So far, more than 1,000 indictments have been issued in fraud charges, and investigators are still looking into tens of thousands of additional leads.
Meteorologist Alex Harrington is back with another check of the first warn forecast. We really need some relief.
We need relief from the air quality. We need relief from the drought. And we've got relief in the air quality coming, and we've got some relief chances in the drought department, too. So
good.
We were commenting before. People are kind of clearing their throats all the time. And I was just doing that back right there before coming over here. So we all need the relief. It's coming. So let's take a look at that there, folks. 3 things that you need to know. Things will be better by Thursday evening. So that's certainly good news. We're going to track that smoke hour by hour here in just a moment. High temperatures in the 80s for the foreseeable future. But the good news is in our extended forecast, we're not just having sun all the time. We do have some rain chances in the forecast. And again, boy, do we need that. Thanks, Carol, for sending us this picture. It shows the scene across all of southern Wisconsin, much of the upper Midwest, and that's those hazy, smoky skies out there. We will continue to have another hazy sunrise tomorrow morning, and then things will start to improve, like I said, in that air quality department. We can see this with the visibility map here. Look at this. Visibility 2 miles in Madison, 2 miles in Janesville, now up to 3 miles in Monroe off to the west. Our friends in Lone Rock at 2 miles. But where you see kind of this grayish white, this is that plume of smoke really across much of the area. We can track that with our future track model as well. Look at this. We see the oranges and the yellows really across much of Wisconsin, eastern Iowa, northern Illinois, this blob really. Watch it move as we go on into your Thursday. It starts to move towards the south and towards the east. This is along a frontal boundary that will bring that thunderstorm chance as well. Look at it pool along that front, and then finally as we get into your Thursday evening and overnight, it finally dissipates across southern and starts heading more off towards the east. We were saying the air conditions are very, very unhealthy right now. It's unhealthy to very unhealthy. So again, if you've got to step outside, limit that activity outdoors, wear that mask, and again, we will see those conditions improve by the time we get later into your Thursday. Take a look at Doppler track here as well. We're watching showers and thunderstorms in the weather department too. Severe thunderstorm watch till 2 a.m. well north and west of the area. These showers and storms have struggled east of Minneapolis, and as they continue to march towards the east and a little bit southeast, I'm anticipating those showers and storms to fizzle out. So not looking at high chances in the rain department across southern Wisconsin tonight, and we can see that as we plan your overnight going into your Thursday. Look at this towards the north and towards the west, right around 2:30 a.m. Still well north and west of Juneau and Adams County, and then they go away. They fizzle out as they move towards southern Wisconsin, so not great news in the rain department, at least not tonight. But as we carry on into your Thursday morning, temperatures rising through the 60s into the lower 70s. The clouds build back up, and then we're going to watch a few more scattered showers and thunderstorms develop across the southern part of our area. Definitely tune into the morning shows because this is a very highly variant, highly changeable scenario. We'll be looking at maybe some more shower and thunderstorm chances as we go later into your Thursday and into your Thursday evening. Then things clear out as we get into your Thursday night going into your Friday. 10-day forecast here again keeps those rain chances intermittently, Charlotte and Eric and folks, as we go on into the 10-day. Look at that, periods of showers and thunderstorm chances at least, so it's not all sunny skies and 90-degree temperatures, and that's certainly good news in the rain department.
And coming up in sports, Brooke Lopez and his Blocks for Books honored by the NBA. The money he raised for the Milwaukee community is next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Experience an awe-inspiring event at the Duck Pond July 2nd starting at 6:05. After the Mallards take on the Green Bay Rockers, get ready for a one-of-a-kind drone show featuring a spectacular light show, fireworks, and music. News 3 Now is a proud sponsor of Madison Mallards Baseball.
This may look like an action-adventure movie, but it's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select Rogue trims.
These epic offers won't last forever.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. And don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Attention, Wisconsin veterans.
I'm Tony Evers, the governor of Wisconsin. If you are a veteran struggling to pay for rent, utilities, or other life-sustaining services, I want you to know that the Veterans Rental Assistance Program is here to help. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. You have already made a most noble sacrifice. You shouldn't have to continue doing so. We are here to support you. With pride in the way, it's never easy to ask for assistance, but rest assured we are here to help. The VRAP team is standing by to help. So call 833-WISC-VRAP or visit vrapwi.com. You've always been there for us. We want you to know that we're here for you. On behalf of the state of Wisconsin, thank you.
Imagine this. It's 1968 and the mayor of Milwaukee says nope to Summerfest. How many bands would you have never seen? And how many lakeside selfies just wouldn't exist? You'd never have met your new best friend while singing along to every song. Or know the feeling of hitting all 12 stages before the headliner. Thankfully, 55 years ago, Summerfest was a yes. And every year since has been one to remember. Don't miss Milwaukee's Summerfest, presented by American Family Insurance.
This may look like an action-adventure movie, but it's a Nissan sales event ad.
Get 0% financing for 36 months on select Rogue trims.
These epic offers won't last forever.
Experience an awe-inspiring event at the Duck Pond July 2nd starting at 6:05. After the Mallards take on the Green Bay Rockers, get ready for a one-of-a-kind drone show featuring a spectacular light show, fireworks, and music. News 3 Now is a proud sponsor of Madison Mallards Baseball.
Heading into this year's NHL draft, there have been 17 first-round draft picks out of the University of Wisconsin. After tonight, that number moved up 1 thanks to Charlie Stramel. The Badger forward was selected 21st overall by his hometown team, the Minnesota Wild, and kept the streak alive, becoming the 6th UW skater in the last 6 years to be a first-round draft pick. Last season as a freshman, he scored 12 points in 33 games. Speaking of Badgers in the bigs, Joe Pavelski. On the ice, he's an ageless wonder who continues to set record after record in the NHL. But the pride of Plover also has another passion, golf. He's a regular at the American Century Championship. Last year, he finished tied for 2nd in the tournament. This year, he's the ambassador for the U.S. Senior Open. And as far as his golf game right now, well, it's not at the Champion Tour's level just yet.
The game's, you know, it gets good at the end of the summer. Then the start of summer, it starts going the other way. And it's just, I've seen that trend for a while with the hockey season and the golf season. And I would love to see myself playing in here, but I'm fairly realistic as well of these guys are good. These guys are really good.
And just a reminder, when the really good guys tee out for the first round of the U.S. Senior Open, Jerry Kelly hits the links at 8:24 tomorrow morning, while Steve Stricker gets the afternoon tee time. He'll take the course at 2:04. Brooke Lopez made headlines today, and not because the free agent center signed with another team. Instead, it was about what he's doing in the community. Lopez was named the Bob Lanier Community Assist Award winner for his Blocks for Brooks program. The mission, make reading fun and accessible for kids in Milwaukee. And this year, Lopez helped contribute $235,000 to the cause. Game 3 of 4 between the Brewers and Mets. 6th inning, tied at 2, and Blake Perkins sends the blooper to left. Check out Owen Miller. He gets on his horse and scores from second to give the Brewers the lead. Then in the 8th, Christian Yelich would channel his interstate farm and give the crew some insurance. He splits the diamond to bring in 2 more. Brewers get the win, 5-2 the final. And tonight's Mallard game against the Dock Spiders has been rescheduled to July 17th due to the air quality advisory. If you bought tickets for the game, you can use them on the 17th. The next game at the Duck Pond is Friday when the Rapids Rafters come to town. We're back after this.
Intuitive sit to start in the all-electric ID4. It's the little things. It's a VW. Visit your Volkswagen dealer today and get a $7,500 lease bonus on a new 2023 all-electric ID4.
Your family's year-round comfort is our year-round commitment at RG Heating and Air Conditioning. We install quality Trane equipment and service all brands so your home's furnace and AC will perform their best year-round. RG Heating and AC.
Get over 50% off on this sofa chaise right now at the 4th of July blowout at Slumberland Furniture. Everything's on sale. Incredible deals. Up to 60% off list throughout the store and up to 70% off on clearance items. What a sale. The 4th of July blowout at Slumberland Furniture.
I suffer with psoriatic arthritis and psoriasis. I was on a journey for a really long time to find some relief. Cosentyx works for me.
Cosentyx helps real people get real relief from the symptoms of psoriatic arthritis or psoriasis. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine or plan to, or if IBD symptoms develop or worsen.
I move so much better because of Cosentyx.
Ask your rheumatologist about Cosentyx.
Looks like they finally got rid of that trip hazard. They pump it full of mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Where are the patched holes? Where's the splashed mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
Concrete lifting technologies can quickly raise and level any concrete surface using cutting-edge foam technology made in Wisconsin. Fast and accurate and eco-friendly.
How did those guys do it? Where are the holes? Where's the mud?
It ain't mud, Jack.
To everyone who enjoys a feel-good meal, we're crafting one for you, Wisconsin style.
We're talking handcrafted, cooked to order,
scoop to perfection goodness.
More like greatness.
A snuggle up in the booth, share a bite kind of meal.
A fill you up, heart and soul kind of meal.
Come treat someone you love to a meal they're sure to love.
One always served with a smile.
That comes from the heart.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious!
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. RG Heating and AC. We'll always treat you like family. Guaranteed.
Why are there 2 extra seats? I know, Uncle Dane and his giant beard.
The Volkswagen Atlas with best-in-class third-row legroom. Get 3.9% APR financing for 72 months on a new 2023 Atlas or Atlas Cross Sport. Limited inventory available.
Celebrating 40 years of concerts on the square. Thursday at...
Alex is back. Take a final check of the forecast. Gosh, we need something to push that air out.
And it's coming. We got a weather front that's going to come through that's going to help to push some of that smoke off towards the east and finally get some relief in the air quality department, as I've been saying this evening. We got some relief in the rain department too for some, but that air quality advisory sticks around for most of the area through noon on your Thursday. Going to have another hazy start to the day. Thanks, Carol, for sending us this picture. You can, of course, send us those pictures through the First Warn Weather app. We're also tracking some showers and thunderstorms to the north and the west where we've got a severe thunderstorm watch, but I think those showers and storms will fizzle as they try to make it into southern Wisconsin, but we do have more rain chances as we go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then a little bit out as we head out into next week, right around that 4th of July timeframe. So not all suns and 90s. We have a little bit of relief here.
I'm starting to get envious of parts of the state that have green radar over them. They get a little bit of rain.
Got to be a little
for my
greedy.
lawn and for our farmers. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.